Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I am Jason. He is Zach with the new setup. What up?
Clean. Just so you know, these Damage Plan MMA water jugs are the best.
Dude,
they're like Yeti They're like Yeti.
They're
Yeti
stainless
mugs.
steel. Yeah, those are dope.
They're really nice.
What do we have? Like 10 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, they turned out really good. So if you're watching this,
what are we selling these for?
I don't know, $35 maybe?
35 bucks. Hey,
30?
mention that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel and we'll kick you one for like $30.
That's a pretty damn good deal.
And then maybe even there might be just a free winner. Who knows?
Hey, maybe I'll even throw in a shirt too.
Maybe we could just throw in a shirt.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let us know that you did it. We'll hook you up.
Yeah.
So, okay, funny story before we get started.
Oh, no.
You remember my hunting story, right?
I
forgot my bullets, right?
How could I forget?
So I'm setting up my computer. I have two computers. I have my laptop that I'm recording, and then I have my desktop. So I have two screens up. And my keyboard ran out of batteries. Guess what I had in my jacket pocket?
Oh, man.
Batteries for my keyboard.
At least that saved you there. We should ask Cole Schaefer if he's ever been hunting and didn't shoot anything because he didn't have any bullets.
Did you see my post on Instagram where I posted the picture with my rifle?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you know what? Like we talked about before we got on the podcast, you just laugh about it.
That's all you do. You just got to laugh about it. Sometimes you make mistakes and you just own it and move on.
Yeah, this is an honest mistake. Whatever. All right.
Bellator was last night. Totally missed that.
Dude, that
McKee.
Whew,
no joke.
That was a slick submission.
Yeah, he was on the Ben Moa Bellator card. So like we drove up to Boise to watch that. Me and my son Hunter and my nephew Taylor, and we drove up to watch Ben. And we ended up watching McKee live, and that dude's no joke. He's slick.
He looked pretty freaking good.
I mean, Pitbull mauls him, but
you think so?
Yeah, I think Pitbull's a bad man, dude.
He is a bad man.
I actually think he's. You ready for this? I think he could be the UFC 145 champ.
Ooh.
I think he's one of the few guys that Bellator has that would come in and you could even see him being a betting favorite over Volkanovski. He's a monster, dude.
He is a monster. There's that division, that 145 division they have over there, and their light heavyweight champ that just beat Bader. I can't forget his name. That guy's legit too. They have some talent over there.
Their pool is just not as deep, but they have some good fights.
Yeah, it gives us something to watch. We got Invicta's on tonight and LFA, I think.
LFA. There's some good LFA fights on tonight.
Well, Invicta too. What's her name's fighting?
I don't care.
K. What's her name? Not Kay Hansen.
I don't care.
Dude, that chick's a beast.
Invicta just does not do. Every time I've sat down to watch Invicta,
you have to mute it. You have to mute it. It's kind of like Bellator. I can't listen to those guys either.
I like Bellator. I miss the days of Goldie and Joe Rogan. No, I every time I've watched it, it's the only time. Usually I can watch the LFA fights and I get into it, whatever. Yeah. But when I watch the Invicta fights, I'm just like, I could have been playing like Madden with my kid.
Yeah.
We could have been playing UFC 4 against each other, Jason.
I know. Why haven't we not? We haven't done that yet. I need to.
Because you're scared.
I am. I'm scared.
You're scared. Because I'm going to give Hunter the controllers. He's going to knock you out because he only knows how to do one thing.
That's what I used to do with my kids.
He just throws overhand rights.
Did I tell you that when my kids were little? When Isaiah was little, he's 24 now, but when he was like, I don't know, 10, 12, dude, he would play. It was Rainbow Six Vegas is what we used to play. And you could hang upside down in the casinos outside the windows. Dude, I would talk so much shit. And for weeks, it just went on. I'd be playing with all my buddies. And finally, one of them caught on. I know Isaiah's playing. Anyways,
I got my headset taken away by my wife on Xbox Live because I was too mean to kids. When we were like first married, I was like 21 years old.
Talking trash to little kids on Xbox Live.
Yeah. Telling them they were adopted.
Oh yeah, I used to get yelled at too from my ex-wife. I had a kid that used to live with me that was staying with me for a while, and we'd be downstairs playing NFL Fever and just talking mad crap all night. 2:00 in the morning, she's stomping on the floor. Yeah.
Hence the X.
Yeah, that's probably why she left me. Now I'm scared to play because Cherie will probably throw something at me.
Shout out to Cherie. She brought me a goodie basket of cookies.
Yeah. How did those go?
The fight, they went very well.
What kind did you get?
Red velvet and the peanut butter with the
Reese's peanut butter cups and Reese's Pieces.
Yep, that, and then the and then your favorite, the oatmeal. With the frosting on it.
She's trying to take that cooking thing.
Dude, she can do it because those are legit. My family ate those up. They're so big, like we'd cut them up and we'd tried all of them, and yeah, they were legit, man. They were all. I tried all of them, and I didn't have a bad thing to say about any of them.
Yeah, they are delicious. She's got to bake like 400 cookies tonight and tomorrow.
Good for her.
She put out a post on.
So when are you going to go buy her an industrial kitchen?
It sounds like we're going to need to soon, man. Like she's like.
Your podcast studio is going to turn into her kitchen.
I'm beginning to think so.
You have to get some
really
stoves down there and stuff.
I'm really surprised that I'm not 300 pounds yet with all the baking.
I'm shocked. Super heavyweight.
Discipline, man. I have discipline. Yeah. I really don't. I eat the hell out of those cookies.
You have to teach me about that.
I don't. I eat the hell out of those cookies, man.
Should we get into these fights?
Yeah, man. Let's give our breakdown. So, just a disclaimer: I haven't had much time to do a bunch of research on this card, but I know you have, so you got my back on this.
Yeah, don't worry, folks. I got you.
I did have a few picks. I told them a little bit yesterday, but I'll redo it. And let's start keeping track of these so we can show people that
we know what we're talking about.
You kind of follow our picks, you may make a little bit of money.
I picked perfect last week.
You've been rolling the last 2 weeks.
Except the Kay Hansen, bad one. And then I did unfortunately go with my heart on Paul Felder against RDA. I did think Paul Felder was going to win, but didn't work out. So that was the only one that I was like wrong on the whole card last week, though. I nailed it. It's a couple underdogs. It was sick.
I think you've been that way the last 2 weeks.
We know what we're doing here, folks. We watch a lot of MMA.
Yeah, just ask our wives how much MMA we watch.
Please don't ask my wife. She don't want to hear it. So UFC 255, not the greatest pay-per-view we've ever seen, but definitely not bad.
No, I mean, I'm not complaining. I mean, I wouldn't complain anyways, but it's as far as a pay-per-view, the names on there, I mean, could we have done a little better? Probably. But top to bottom, I think you're going to get some amazing fights.
So we're going to start it off with this banger right here.
Which one?
Luis Koski.
Yep.
Versus Sasha.
Contenders, both UFC debuts, right?
Okay, yeah. But the one thing that Luis he's minus 510.
That seems heavy.
Okay, it seems heavy. Then you go look him up. He has won by 7 finishes in the first round. He's 7-0 with all 7 finishes in the first round. TKO, rear naked TKO, choke. Okay, 32-second knockout, 8-second knockout, minute 19 submission, 18-second knockout, 18-second knockout, and then a minute 12 into the Contender Series, left hook, ground and pound.
Look who he's fighting, though.
A savage.
Look who he's fighting, though. He's fighting nobodies.
The Dana White Contender Series, they're all nobodies. The regionals. I mean, get out of here, dude. He was an underdog and supposed to lose as a 6-0 prospect versus 11-4 Victor Reina, and he starched him.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Dude, I do like that he finishes everybody in the first round because I mean you still got to get in there and perform, and he's shown that he can do that.
His nickname is the Monster, and for good reason. I mean, Sasha is not like he's not some punk.
He's undersized,
and Sasha's about 4 inches taller.
Yeah,
right? So he's a little bit bigger, but. He's been knocked out twice. I'm going to go with the guy that just starches everybody in the first round. This is his UFC debut. No Contender Series.
No Contender.
You know what this looks like to me?
What?
This looks like they brought in a guy that they're hoping they can give a good push to in Luis Costco.
We've been seeing that a lot lately, I think.
Yeah, I think they're trying. I think they're trying to be a little bit smarter on how they build some of these guys, and then up and what do we know about MMA too? Though there's no downside.
No,
There's no downside to the upset happening
no.
because then a new star is born.
Yep. So what do you? I mean, you're not obviously going to take this guy at 5-1 odds. Are you going to take it
No,
under 1.5, or you?
But under 1.5 at -155, I really like on that bet just because that's all he does. That's literally all the guy does is that. You can also bet on him winning
by finish.
You can also bet on my guy winning. Let's see. Oh, they don't even have odds for him.
Inside the distance.
Yeah. No, what I wanted was his odds on winning by knockout in the first round.
Oh yeah, you're probably not going to get that on him. They didn't put those out yet, or they're slowly putting them out.
Anyways, I think he wins, and I think he wins easily. I have Luis Cusco by first round finish, knockout, or he's shown the ability to submit people too.
All right, that's your pick. I'm laying off that one.
Well, I mean, you still think he's going to win, though, right?
I think he'll win. I just betting wise, I'm not gonna touch that one.
And yeah, -510 is not a very good value unless you're trying to build a parlay and you're positive on that.
Yeah,
but it's still the risk reward isn't very great. Next one, really interesting guys against two guys who have the combined record of 22-2 with one loss each. Kyle Dukakis versus Dustin Stoltzfus.
This should be an interesting one because both these guys.
This is interesting.
Dawkins loves that Darce choke.
Okay, at 6'3", okay, he's 6'3", and he has won by Darce choke, decision, Darce choke, rear naked choke, Darce choke, rear naked choke.
He's got 12, 10. He's got 9 wins by freaking choke.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this dude's trying to win by the Darce choke.
But the other guy's no slouch on the ground either.
You can get.
If I remember right, though, he was getting his butt kicked in that Contender Series one, and he slammed the dude, and the dude broke his arm. He like hyperextended his arm when he fell. He caught the.
Oh, is that this guy?
Yeah, so he wasn't very impressive on the Contender Series. He kind of got a little lucky.
But you know what? He's another one of those guys too that I like.
He's beaten some good guys. I mean, he's beaten some good competition. He's fought.
A 10, a 5-5 amateur record. So, showing that he goes 5 for 5 in an amateur record shows too that he was probably fighting some tougher competition in amateur, prepared him, and he's been on a 9-0. He started 9-0 as a pro. It's pretty good. I'm just trying to pull up the odds here on this.
I like Dawkins on that one.
Dukakis,
yeah.
However you say it.
I'm definitely not.
For the record, excuse us on our pronunciation.
He's -320.
Oh yeah,
Dawkins.
I just like him because mainly of I think that length. You look at these fighters, and when they have an elite skill set, being that long at those weight classes is elite. And when you are 6'3" and you have a 4-inch reach advantage on a guy, or a 4-inch height advantage, this guy's no joke either. I mean, they might be sleeping on this dude a little bit.
Here's the bet. Dawkins by submission +175.
Yeah. No, but you ready for this? The guy that he's fighting is the guy who won via arm.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah. That's what I was talking about. Sorry if you didn't catch that.
He's won by twister, punches, guillotine, rear naked choke, arm triangle, knee bar. So
he's got some submission too.
He's a submission game. Should be interesting. I don't love the straight up bet, but I wouldn't mind putting a little bit of money on him winning via submission.
Dawkins by submission. I think I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit. I'm gonna write these down so we can make sure we let all you guys know what Dawkins by submission. I like that. +175.
So what do you think about Jared Gooden versus Alan Joban?
I'm gonna lean on you for these ones because I did not do my research.
Okay, so What I see here is Jared Gooden. He's 17-4, UFC debut, prospect guy. They're bringing him in, but you know what? He's 26 years old. Titan FC, that's a good promotion. Just got it, down there in Florida, I believe. But man, when I look at his body of work, a 17-4 record is definitely, it's good. But Alan Joban, he's 38 years old. I didn't realize he was so old. He is 38 years old, but he's built his record predominantly in the UFC and RFA.
Yeah.
He's been in the UFC for the last 6+ years now.
Did you watch any tape on Gooden?
No, I did not. I will be honest, I did not. I do like Alan Joban as a slight favorite in this fight, just from the experience alone. What worries me though, and why I would lay off this from the betting standpoint is it's almost a coin flip. And man, 26 versus 38 at the welterweight division, there is a speed difference there, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. Yeah.
So I don't know. I've always liked Joban and been a fan of his and his fighting style. He's tough, but
I'm going to lay
Lion, I don't like it.
I'm laying off of betting on that one. I mean, wouldn't be a bad spot to go with the underdog on this one if you're a betting person, but I'm not officially going to call that. How about Dalby and Rodriguez? This one will be a banger.
Should be a banger. Another welterweight fight. D-Rod, though, I think, there's a reason why he's a big favorite. And I think he sticks on his his only loss is a split decision.
So you think he gets it done?
Yeah, I do. And I like the experience, his third pro fight was in Bellator. He did a King of the Cage, Contender Series, wins, goes and then doesn't get the call up. 5 months later, gets another knockout, then gets called in. Standing guillotine against Tim Means.
Yeah, that's a good win.
I mean, yeah. I think he's a monster. 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu guy. I like Daniel Rodriguez. He's a big favorite here, but he is definitely one that I wouldn't mind throwing into a parlay as a minus 300+ favorite. I mean, Dalby's no walkover, but I think he has a win over Alex Oliveira, but he's also shown I don't know.
So you like Rodriguez then to get that done?
Yeah, like I think so. I think it's gonna be a good fight, but I think Rodriguez is gonna be able to show a little bit too much.
The next fight, Lipski and Shevchenko, the Antonia Shevchenko. This is actually my first official bet of this card, and I actually put this one in as soon as the odds came out last week. I've had my bet in on this one. I took Lipski on this one.
Would you like to tell us why?
Well, as far as our podcast, as far as what we go on the podcast, this is a pretty even Tapology matchup. And
yes.
Those of you that have listened to our podcast in the past know what I'm talking about here.
Yes.
Yeah, very, very interesting. I love Lipski.
Aesthetically pleasing fight.
I was not impressed with Shevchenko, her last fight against Chikagian. She just got dominated on the ground. She looked like me sparring with Jason South. And
that's harsh.
Hey, I'm dead serious. Harsh. It was that bad. And then that's bad.
So people need, if people that are new to this, when you look at betting odds in Vegas, it's not necessarily what's going to happen. It's what they think the public thinks is going to happen. Right.
Yes.
And just because Antonia Shevchenko shares the same last name as the pound for pound, one of the top 2 female fighters ever, does not mean that she is just awesome at fighting. Very good fighter. I'm not trying to take anything away from her. She's a very good fighter. I think Ariana Lipski is next level, and she's coming up. And she did one of the most savage finishes I've ever seen in her last fight with that knee bar.
That was slick.
I mean, not only was it slick, if you remember, I believe that was the one where she had it. She knew she had it. Yep. She looked over at her coaches and said, should I rip this knee apart? Watch this. Whop! And she shredded it.
Yep.
Right. And when you have somebody that has that type of a killer instinct, I mean, literally to the point that some people thought that was dirty and excessive.
Well,
I don't share that sentiment, but she's got that savage in her that I didn't see from Antonia in her last fight when she just got mauled.
Yeah.
She looked overwhelmed. I mean, it's one thing to get overwhelmed in the practice room by your sister versus somebody that's legitimately trying to kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all over.
If you would like a nice underdog bet, they're pretty close. Lipsky's about a plus 130. I do as well like Lipsky. And I would take her, and I don't know what the odds are on via submission, but I wouldn't mind putting a few dollars on that.
Yeah, I already did. I'm on it. I'm all over that one. So yeah, my first official bet is Lipsky, just for everybody listening.
There you go.
So you can mark that down. The next one, I haven't put it in yet. Buckley and Wright. Buckley highlight reel KO in his last. I mean, they're going to be talking about this you're going to be seeing this 10 years from now. You're going to be seeing that jumping, spinning back kick.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great knockout. And I mean, props to him. Good for him.
I'm going under. Oh, go ahead.
I don't think he wins this weekend.
I don't think he does either.
I like Jordan Wright.
I do too. I like
Jordan Wright is almost a plus. He's like a plus 200 underdog. We both like Jordan Wright. I like the over 1.5 rounds.
I like that.
I think you got two really tough guys. Jordan Wright is getting looked over, and you are getting value on him because Joaquim had a highlight knockout. That's it.
And you know what else is kind of leaning me towards Jordan Wright is James Krause's comments after his fight about how basically saying Buckley doesn't train, that he's lazy.
Okay.
And eventually it might not catch up with him this weekend, and we may be dead wrong on this, but eventually that's going to catch up.
And I would just like to for people that are sleeping on it, Joaquim Buckley, good fighter, 11-3. You know, he took a super tough short notice fight against Kevin Holland, you know, but he lost in Bellator a couple times, got knocked out, lost a decision, got knocked out by Kevin Holland. Not bad losses. Has had a lot of success. He just seems to be the better athlete.
Yep.
In a lot of these matchups. At 185, weighing in at middleweight, being 5'10" at middleweight, I think he's a little undersized for a middleweight. And Jordan Wright's a big middleweight. He's 6'2", weighs in at 185, got a nice 77-inch reach.
He's got a 4-inch reach advantage. 4 inches reach advantage.
Oh, by the way, he's 11-0 with 11 finishes. I like Jordan Wright. I think he's not getting any love here.
If you're looking for an underdog, that's a good one.
It's not even just 11 finishes. 10 of those 11 were in the first round.
I'm with you on that one. I'm all over Wright too.
I maybe the over under isn't the right thing. Maybe there is a first round finish, and that's the odds. I think this is both the toughest fight for both of them that they've ever had. But man, I just feel like Jordan Wright's not getting any love because his last fight hasn't been shown 8 million times on YouTube and ESPN.
Yeah, it's just like the fight before.
A lot of value here.
A lot of value in Jordan Wright. So if you're watching that, next one, Brandon Moreno and Brandon Royval, which is going to be probably fight of the night.
Man, it could
or
be.
Damn close. I mean,
it could be. I have a tough one with this one. I think I lean Brandon Moreno. I think he's the second best flyweight in the world right now. I've liked him since his season on The Ultimate Fighter. I thought he was just super, super impressive for how young he is. He kind of took his licks, fell out of the UFC, went and got a couple wins, came back. Now he's back in the UFC and making his run now against a really, really top tier prospect. Brandon Royval might be he may not, he's not far from being a championship contender, and he could show it tomorrow night. I think Brandon Moreno wins. I think the odds are too high, and I'm going to stay off this one.
I'm going to stay off it too. But you know what's funny is you look at Brandon Royval and you think he is the young and up and coming fighter, which he is, but he's actually older than Brandon Moreno by 2 years.
Moreno's a kid, dude.
Moreno,
when he was, let's see, he's 26 now.
Yeah.
So when he was on the Ultimate Fighter, he was 21 years old.
This is another fight where I think people they have Brandon Royval's last fight in their head against Kai Kara-France and that was a great fight. And I mean, he got dropped and then came back up and then dropped him, and great fight.
And
impressive.
By the way, yeah, and the other thing is too, I think Brandon Moreno, who's beat Kai Kara-France himself,
yes,
I think he's had the better wins. Formiga, who just got cut by the UFC, really weird.
But yeah, I'm laying off of it, but I'm picking Moreno, but betting wise, I'm not touching this fight either. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy, grab my popcorn.
Yep.
What do we got next? We got Paul Craig. Yo, you're already on Paul Craig. Did you see Did you see the face off?
No.
It's a little disrespectful.
Who was Paul?
Yeah, Paul's a little disrespectful. I kind of want Shogun to show him a little
quit. I don't know. Paul Craig's just kind of that way. He comes to every fight with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, everybody has their
fight.
Everybody has their thing. I am a fan of Shogun. I'm going to pick Shogun. I'm not betting on Shogun, but I'm going with my heart. I'm going to go with Shogun. He's going to ride off in the sunset. I would
like to see it, but I think Paul Craig wins.
You're on Craig on this one. Is this really the only one we disagree on?
Fate doesn't really care about storylines. Just ask Walt Harris.
Yeah.
And I just think Paul Craig I think at this point is his career and Shogun's career. I would just imagine that Paul Craig gets it done.
You are probably right, but I'm going to go against the grain and I'm going with Shogun.
I hope you're right.
Caitlin Chikagian against Cynthia Calvillo. Yep. I think Calvillo just does what she needs to do. And
Cynthia's wrestling. She should just be able to just take her down and lay on top of her. And, there is there's not a lot of value in this fight for me. Cynthia being minus 265, the over being minus 400. And I don't see either girl finishing each other.
Caitlin just lost with body shot against Jessica Andrade.
Yeah, but that's that. I mean, I'm not going to hold.
I'm
not going to hold that too much against her.
I was going to say, when does Cynthia last fight? She fought in June. She fought Jessica I. It's a good win.
That was a good fight. If I remember right, I thought Jessica I may have won that fight, but either way,
I'm not touching that one.
Me neither.
I don't like that one. This one, the next one though, I'm all over Tim Means, man.
I know you are, and you're like, get on him now. The line's moving.
Dude, it was plus 120. I got in on it at plus 120. He's minus 105 right now because Mike Perry is something's wrong with that guy. Like somebody needs to intervene and step in and talk to him because he's not right in the head, man. I'm like seriously worried about that dude.
Yeah.
I could see him doing something very stupid.
So I have a question for you. You watched him weigh in?
I didn't. I just saw pictures of it. I didn't see the whole thing.
I think I sent it to you on your Instagram, actually.
Oh, I haven't looked at it yet.
So he missed weight by 5.5 pounds.
Yes.
Came in 25 pounds overweight a week ago. Right? I think Mike Perry got to like a level of he felt a little bit invincible.
Yeah.
He thought he could cut the weight super easy. He said he got 6 pounds out and he has the sauna suit on and he goes into the little portable sauna and his body isn't sweating. He's not able to cut anymore. And, you know, he does have a couple screws loose. But
a couple.
But go on your Instagram real quick and watch. He did not look like he was struggling that hard. He did not look like he was hurting that much to me.
Is he playing games with people?
I don't know that.
What?
So most people, I would say no way. He is on my list of I could see him being like, so what? I missed weight. I'm going to knock this dude out. And him not trying as hard as he said he would. Like, dude,
he's got to give up 30% of his purse.
He doesn't care. He doesn't even pay his taxes. You think he cares?
You know what? I saw somebody, and I don't know if it was Ariel that tweeted, if you miss weight like that, it should be a no contest. For win or lose, you have a no contest on your record. If you win that fight, it's a no contest for you.
So the only thing you can get is your show money?
Yeah, that's it. Something needs to happen because it's happening.
That actually might be the best answer that I've heard.
I don't know what the answer is. Obviously, this isn't my world, and I'm probably speaking out of turn here. But to me, it's disrespectful. I mean, like, let's just say you're getting in there, and let's say Johan comes in 5 pounds overweight. You'd probably be pretty pissed, wouldn't you? If you're going through a whole training camp, and then the guy you're supposed to fight comes in 5 pounds overweight, like, come on, dude. Like, it just
Point 4 is okay though, right?
0.4 is okay. 5 pounds is a little freaking disrespectful, but 0.4 pounds, I get
you're
it.
A professional fighter, like
if you're a professional, if you're a professional, let's clarify that, because if you're a professional, if you're an amateur, look, you're still trying to figure out things.
Step in the cage and fight.
Yeah, just do your thing.
Okay.
But on the flip side of that,
so if you want to talk about punishments, I actually really like that. If they just said you are now ineligible for your win bonus. If you win, your win bonus is going to your opponent.
Yeah.
And if they win, they get their win bonus just like normal, right? So the person who made weight gets the win bonus no matter what, no matter how much it is. Right? They're on different contracts. It doesn't matter how much it is. You get the other person's win bonus, right? If they would have won.
Yeah, give it to them.
And you still get 20% of your show fee.
Yeah, make these guys put, because he clearly didn't put in the effort.
Well, because
I mean, the dude's got 20 professional fights. You know how to cut weight. Don't give me that crap. I don't know how truth it is, because there's pictures of him eating a cheeseburger. That could have been
earlier this week.
Could have been earlier this week, 6 months ago. It was earlier this week for sure.
Yeah.
That, to me, that's a slap in the face.
Because
that's a big
he's always mocked people that can't make weight.
Yeah,
and he's like, I can make it. Like he heard the biggest problem with Mike Perry right now is he's not a fighter. He's an attention whore.
Yeah. Well,
he loves the attention right now.
He's going to get cut.
Getting all of it.
He's going to get cut.
No, he's not.
I bet
no,
you
he's
cut.
not. Dude, if he didn't get cut after smacking that old guy at the restaurant, Dana, I mean,
I think him missing weight by 5.5 pounds is going to.
What's the last guy that Dana's cut for missing weight?
But you add on all the other stuff that's been going on with him. It's as long as he shows up and he fights and he puts on the show that he does, people tune in to watch him, man. He is an average fighter at best, and he is slotted right behind the co-main event on a pay-per-view card. That is pretty crazy.
And it's not because it's Tim Means, dude.
Yeah,
it's because he brings the eyeballs.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not going anywhere. He's a freak show.
I'm still taking Tim Means.
You know what? I don't blame you. I like Tim Means. I think he's durable. I think when you have a bad weight cut like this, you see the energy and stuff is really hard to weather with. This is where if Perry wins, he wins in the first round. If Tim Means can weather that storm, I think Tim Means could just bury him in the second or third round.
Yeah. Yep.
It's interesting though. And here's the biggest thing. I'm tuning in to watch, because Mike Perry, win or lose, is always entertaining.
That he's definitely going to bring it. Well,
I mean, one of the greatest things I've ever seen is when he did that chicken walk thing into the cage. Have you seen that?
No, I don't remember that.
Hilarious. It is hilarious.
All right. Well, I'm on Means on that one.
Okay. I'm not mad at that.
And who do you like in that one?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You're going to go with the nutcase.
I really don't want to pick him. I really don't want to pick him but it really just comes down to, what do you think? Like, can Perry? I think Perry's going to be a maniac for the first 3 to 4 minutes of the fight.
That's his only chance, I think.
He's going to have 3 to 4 minutes.
Tim Means is a veteran. I think he's too smart. Like if he just weathers that storm, he's.
But he is a veteran. And I mean, the dude's got 43 fights, and he's been in the UFC for a long time.
And he's big. He's
but
long.
But you know what? He's lost a lot lately.
Yeah.
He's lost kind of a lot. There's a lot of red next to his name there, and the green isn't against big name. I mean, Thiago Alves, like a way old Thiago Alves.
Yeah.
Know? It's like, Tim Means had his run, and he was a bad mamma jamma for a long time. And, from 2013 to 2016, he had a great run. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-2 in 10 fights in 3 years. That's a great. But in his last fights, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 4-5 in his last 9 fights. It's a good fight because it's a good fight for both of them. I could see Mike Perry knocking him out, to be honest.
He could.
I could also see Tim Means weathering a storm, and it's a coin flip. It all comes down to how bad does the weight cut affect Mike Perry. And Mike Perry might just be a berserker enough too that he could just ride out the storm, and he just had his bad weight cut and he snorted a whole bunch of cocaine and got away with it somehow and goes out there and he's the berserker that he is and smokes him.
He very well could.
He's a freaking he is the berserker of the UFC.
I'm still going Means.
I hope you're right.
I just don't like
I will not cheer for a guy that misses weight like that.
Yeah, that's all right. Let's talk about the co-main event, baby. Marcus, what's up? Appreciate you tuning in, brother. Co-main event, Jennifer Maia, Shevchenko. I think we already know who's going to win this one.
Yeah, but do you want to re-argue about the over/under again?
Dude, I'm sticking it in there. So this is the last part of my. So I took Lipsky was my bet. I took Tim Means as my bet. And then I parlayed the over on the co-main and the main event. So I'm taking the over 2.5 rounds in the co-main event. And I'm taking, dude. So her last fight, Shevchenko's last fight was Caitlin Chikugian, right?
Yeah, she mopped her.
She ends it in round 3. She has a decision against Liz Carmouche. Mm-hmm. She freaking knocks out, head kicks Jessica Ai in the second round. She has a decision against Joanna. She goes to almost the third round in their fight there. She loses split decision to Amanda Nunes. I like the over, man. I think Maia's tough. I think it's going to get into the third round, and I think I'm going to win my parlay.
I like Maia, but she lost to Caitlin Chikagian, and she lost to Liz Carmouche. And what did Valentina Shevchenko do to both those ladies?
She did, I know, but she had an impressive win against Joanna Calderwood. She looked good in that Calderwood fight when Calderwood was the number 1 contender.
I know, but Calderwood isn't knocking people out.
I'm with you, man. Let's get her back in there with Nunes for the trilogy.
I've been saying that forever.
It's the only fight, really, that makes sense.
The only thing for either of them right now.
Really is.
Unless Amanda Nunes is going to woman up and fight our girl Megan Anderson.
So who are you going? Are you probably? I mean, betting wise, don't. I mean, you can.
If you
want to bet 7, you would have to bet 1,700 for you guys that don't bet. You would have to bet $1,700 to win 100.
And what if Shevchenko Anderson Silva's it and throws a kick and breaks her leg? No, it's not worth the risk. You do not. You do this.
So really, it's
principle. I forbid it. If anybody's listening to this podcast, I forbid you from throwing -1,700 into any parlays or anything.
Why not? Well, that's stupid too because you just be throwing money away. So what's the bet on this? Do you like the over under or do you like a finish by Shevchenko?
I would if I'm leaning, I think the value is under 2.5 rounds at plus 125. I think that's the value.
Ooh.
Dude, put $5 on Maya to win 40. I don't care. Like, I mean, it's not going to happen, but I don't. Shevchenko is one of two girls that can close the show with one puncher kick. One of two girls in the UFC right now that can just close the show and put somebody's lights out. There's not very many girls that do it. I mean, how many girls have you seen laid out unconscious from something?
A lot.
From Valentina.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Or Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
So I think the over-under is a little risky because all it takes is that one for Valentina, and it could happen in the first round. It could happen in the fifth round. But Valentina too. Here's the big thing: what version of Jennifer Maia shows up? If Jennifer Maia wants to have a chance to win, she's gonna have to be aggressive and create. She's gonna have to create a little bit of chaos in the fight.
She's gonna have to make it ugly.
She's going to have to make it ugly, right?
Try to get her to the ground.
But in order to do that, she's going to leave herself exposed and open. And Valentina doesn't shoot and miss too often.
That's very true.
There's a reason why she's the bullet. She's a freaking sniper, dude. And I think, unfortunately for Jennifer Maia, her only path to victory, the slim path that it is doing something that at some point is going to leave her exposed and hoping that Valentina doesn't or can't capitalize on that moment. That's her only chance.
Yeah.
I'll put my money on Valentina doing that. And the longer the fight goes, the more and more it favors Valentina, obviously.
So you're going to you're on the under then.
I don't know if I'm on it, but if I was going to do something, that's probably the way I'm leaning.
All right.
I don't hate your over, by the way. I mean, it's a girl fight too. So, I mean, Valentina could just very well just say, I'm not. We've seen that she has the discipline to not engage in firefights and brawls, and she'll just outpoint you and just kind of beat you up and never sit on anything super hard, but just outpoint you. You want to be a disciplined defensive fighter? Great. I'm going to outpoint you. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to get my angles. I'm going to touch you for 5 rounds, and you're going to look beat up, and I'm going to look fresh. And she's going to do a little pirouette at the end, and
I love it.
Good.
I love it. Main event. This one I actually think should be a good fight. I like Perez. I mean, I don't think he's going to win, but I like Perez a lot.
Figueiredo's huge, though, man.
He's just too. He hits like a freaking Mack truck.
The way I rewatched the Benavidez fight, the second one, and the way he sits down Benavidez with just one punch power.
That's impressive.
The reason why him versus Cody Garbrandt was such a fun, interesting matchup is because they're both 135ers that. Well, Cody said could make 125, but they're both really 135ers that can make it. And they both hit like Mack trucks, dude. And I think that would have been a really, really good fight because all it was is who's going to land on whose chin first.
Yeah. I mean, I took the over 1.5 on this one. I parlayed it with the co-main. I
like that.
I like it too because, I mean, I think Perez is going to give him a fight. And it's not a huge – the betting odds are Figueiredo's minus 285. He's almost 3-1. I mean, that's
a parlay. That's a parlay building bet for me because I don't think Figueiredo's in a lot of danger to lose this fight, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, this could have been. I think you really, realistically, no disrespect to Alex Perez because I think he's really good and I really enjoy watching him fight. But I mean, realistically, this could have been a minus 500.
You think so? Really?
It could have been. I mean, dude, Figueiredo's he smokes, dude. You just look at their body of work and you look at a guy that's been in the UFC as long as Figueiredo has, and he only has one loss and it's a unanimous decision. But look at all the wins he has.
Yeah, he's been in the UFC for 3.5 years now.
And 3.5 years, and he lost to one guy, Juice Formiga, who'd been around forever.
And he's finished everybody else in the UFC.
and he finishes. That's the big thing for me.
He had two decision wins. All the rest are stoppage.
That's the big thing for me is he doesn't just beat people at the flyweight division. He finishes them. And there's not a ton of elite finishers at the flyweight division.
So the bet may be Figueiredo by KO TKO. I don't know if I like that.
I don't love it because he does have jiu-jitsu and he's won via guillotine choke and rear naked choke. But he wins by.
Yeah, I don't like that.
He wins by overpowering him, but he does finish on the ground and submits people. It's not always just ground and pound.
Yeah, it's minus 175. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Perez does have some leg kicks because he finished Formiga was by leg kicks.
Yeah.
And not that MMA math works, but Figueiredo lost to Formiga.
Formiga is also a very different fight, turned into a very different fighter over those couple, over the last
year and that's what I'm saying. It's the math doesn't
just got cut.
Yeah, I think
he just got cut. You know what I mean?
So I think if you want to go with a finish, it's definitely going to be a finish. I don't think this is going to the scorecards.
I don't either.
Anything on the over under on this one?
I like your over. I think it's a dogfight. I think Alex Perez is tough enough. He'll make this a little bit of a dogfight.
Yeah, I do too. All in all, I think we got a good card, man.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Where are you watching it?
On my couch. Come on down if you want. Or are you doing them at your office?
I don't know yet.
I might have my daughter. I say that now and she'll probably say, I don't want to come over.
If you don't have your daughter and your wife's baking a bajillion cookies, you could come up and we could
all right,
fight companion in it.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Or you could just come up.
Yeah, we could do that.
You and Hunter could finally settle your differences.
We have a score to settle.
Hey, just so you know, so this is what I'm going with on my DraftKings lineup.
All right, DraftKings.
So everybody knows. Because you got to get some underdogs in here. And this is how I cashed last week. And so I just want you guys to know, and I'll give you a little update. But I took Jordan Wright as an underdog. I took Tim Means. I took Lipsky as an underdog. I took Figueiredo, Paul Craig, and Koski against the first fight of the night.
Marcus wants to know who has the submission and KO fight of the night. Fight of the night, I think, is Moreno and Royval. I think is fight of the night.
I think they try and kill each other, dude. I mean, that's going to be a dog fight.
Submission of the night could go to Lipsky, just because of that freaking nasty knee bar she did.
Yeah, I got one for you.
KO of the night?
Koski. I'll bet you. I mean, that dude, that's all he does.
Koski. Yeah, Koski.
Or the Jordan Wright Buckley fight.
Rodriguez?
Maybe.
Rodriguez. Oh, yeah, Buckley Jordan Wright could end in a KO too. Yeah, it's either going to be Koski or Jordan Wright. Who do you like, Marcus? Go ahead and tell us while we're chatting. DraftKings.
You should get in on that.
What do you got to pay to get in there? It's like $10, $20.
Whatever you want. $5, $10, $20, $25.
The freaking last one I joined. What was that one I joined? FanDuel. That thing was stupid.
I left FanDuel too. I
don't
like FanDuel.
Do not get on FanDuel. Stupid.
DraftKings is never there. FanDuel's little agreement. I play DraftKings on the NFL every week too, though, and now I'm starting to do them with the fights, and I've done pretty well.
You degenerate.
Hey, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Man, I'm looking at this. If I'm gonna predetermine it, I'm gonna say knockout of the night goes to the first fight of the night, Luis Koski.
Okay.
Because that's all he does is just starch dudes in the first round. Submission of the night. How about this?
Dawkins could be submission of the night.
How about this? I'm gonna say Lipsky on submission of the night.
It'll be Lipsky or Dawkins.
And then the fight of the night, I'm gonna go Brandon Moreno versus Brandon Royval. I think that's actually the closest dog fight on the whole card.
I bet if you took a poll of all the MMA heads that they're going to agree that that's probably going to be fight of the night.
Is that where we are now? Are we MMA heads?
I mean, that's all we do is watch. I mean, if you looked at our text messages from each other, I think it's all, did you see the weigh-ins? Did you see that? Did you see this? Did you see that? It's like, yes, Zach, I did see it. I watch everything. But it's fun.
Yeah, you didn't see the Mike Perry weigh-in, though. And I said
I didn't.
So
I didn't.
Smart ass.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I guess we'll enjoy a good night of fights.
Let's see. Oh, Cole Schaefer did like the thing. I wonder if he heard that little. Hey, Cole, if you're still watching, have you ever left your ammo when you're hunting?
Have you ever left your ammo while hunting? Did you ever have an 8-point buck in your scope?
Cole,
30 yards away.
Cole would have hopped down, snuck up behind him, sunk in a rear naked choke, just like Bryce Mitchell.
I probably freaking could have. It was that close.
You should have.
Pretty bad.
Why did you have like a pocket knife you could like throw at it or something?
I don't think it would have been. Fight of the night, definitely Moreno. Marcus says, contender KO of the night, give it to Rodriguez or Buckley. Submission, either Craig or Maya, if she even gets a chance.
Maya's not getting a submission. Sorry, bro. I could see the Craig. I could see Paul Craig putting who to sleep with.
Yeah. KO is Rodriguez or Buckley. I just think
I don't see Buckley. Dude, everybody's so in love with his hype train. You watch, he does some other crazy knockout, and we're just dead wrong. But I don't see it, dude.
I think Jordan Wright's going to surprise some people.
I'm friends with him on Facebook, and that dude trains. He's kind of a monster.
Why is he not on the podcast?
Because he doesn't respond to my messages. Just like a lot of people, we do pretty good getting people on here. But
we got to get more. We got to start getting a few more people on at least once a week now. Now that the fights aren't coming.
That hurts. That hurts.
Oh, you know who we got to get back on is Jason South and Mio Strong to talk about the smart defense program that they have.
Done. Why don't you get that scheduled for next week?
I will. Yeah. So if you're paying attention, if you don't know what the smart defense program is, it's the Elizabeth Smart self-defense program that Mio Strong runs. And I don't know all the details. That's why we're going to have those two back on.
And if you don't know who Elizabeth Smart is, get out from under a rock.
If you're from Utah, well, nationally, I mean,
she was on everything.
I was talking to my mom about it, and she was like, "Oh, wow."
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next week. Appreciate everybody tuning in as always. We out.